Hi there, this is Tata, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Monday, April 24th, 2023, and tonight I will be talking about Monday Night Raw. Alrighty, so let's kick things off with Triple H's announcement. It was announced earlier tonight that Triple H had an announcement for Raw. And I was trying to wonder what it could be. It was rumored that it would have to deal with the new title or potentially the upcoming draft. And here is what Triple H announced. So he was talking about how, as a WWE superstar, he had incredible privilege of wrestling in front of the fans. He brings up WrestleMania 22, which also took place in Chicago, Illinois, where he wrestled John Cena for the WWE title. Talked about Roman Reigns and about how Roman is coming up as 1,000 days as champion, which is unheard of in the modern era. And he says that Roman is just that damn good. Triple H says that Roman Reigns negotiated himself in a position where he didn't have to defend the title, which is great for him, but not for WWE. So he goes on to say that WWE deserves more. We deserve more. Triple H says that wherever Roman Reigns gets drafted, he will take the undisputed WWE Universal title with him and will stay there. He says that at Night of Champions, they will crown a new World Heavyweight Champion, and that this champion you can respect, you can admire, that will defend the title, will defend it anytime, anywhere. Basically, he says this champion is going to be a fighting champion. He says this champion will not demand your acknowledgement and will earn the title of World Heavyweight Champion. So he reveals the title. This is what the title looks like. I honestly really like this title. I have no problem with it. It reminds me a lot of the big gold belt, and it's honestly much better than the Universal title, which was an exact replica of the WWE title, except in a different color. So, really like the title. But who do you guys think is going to be the first World Heavyweight Champion? Could it potentially be Cody Rhodes? Maybe Seth frickin' Rollins? Who do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. So, I feel like this championship is kind of like a consolation prize. It feels like, oh, well, Roman isn't losing the titles, so here, we made this belt so that you guys can go after. Which begs the question, when is Roman Reigns losing the title? So he's going to hit 1,000 days before SummerSlam. Could Roman potentially lose the titles at SummerSlam? Maybe. But I could see WWE having Roman Reigns hold those titles or title at least until WrestleMania 40. And if he doesn't lose at SummerSlam or at WrestleMania 40, then I don't know when Roman Reigns is losing. But if it doesn't happen at SummerSlam, it should happen next year at WrestleMania. So we'll see what they go with Roman's title reign. But now that they have this title, it doesn't look like Roman is losing those titles anytime soon. All right, well, with that being said, let's start this review off from the beginning. So Monday Night Raw kicked off with the Cody Rhodes promo. And of course, the chants of Cody were echoing through the arena. Cody talks about how he could talk about the draft, which is going to shake up both rosters. He could talk about slaying the beast of Brock Lesnar at Backlash, the very same Lesnar that is the most decorated combat sports athlete of all time. He shows a replay of Lesnar beating him down, and he says it was a humiliating beatdown thanks to Lesnar. And Cody Rhodes starts taking off his shirt. He took off his tie first, threw it into the crowd, and then he took off his shirt and threw that into the crowd, and he's showing the scar from his torn pec, which is the arena that Raw took place at. Was the same arena where Cody Rhodes wrestled Seth Rollins with a torn pec. And Cody Rhodes acknowledges this by saying that it's the first time he stands in that arena since Hell in a Cell. He tells Lesnar to pick a spot to put another scar on him. And that scar is the same scar that he defeated one of the very best to ever do it. Cody goes on to say that he didn't do anything that night. He had a sold-out arena pop him up and carry him through the night. And from the bottom of his heart, he thanks the crowd. And then out of nowhere, Finn Balor interrupts. And he says he's here to let him know that everybody has scars. And that's not why he's here. He says that he saw what happened to Cody at WrestleMania and saw that he had Roman Reigns beat. Knows how Cody feels about being screwed. Finn Balor goes on to say that no one had Cody's back and he trusted the wrong man. And Cody needs to be smarter like him. And Cody's facing Lesnar all beaten and bruised. Cody says that he was under the impression that there was mutual respect between him and Finn Balor. Cody Rhodes goes on to say that whatever Finn Balor is selling, he isn't buying, which I thought was so hilarious. And Finn Balor says that if Cody respects him, he will hear what he has to say. He tells us that Cody Rhodes in the Judgment Day would be an unstoppable force and tells him to think about it. Gives him examples as to what he did with Rhea, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio. Finn Balor tells Cody Rhodes he made a mistake at WrestleMania and not to make the same mistake at Backlash. And the crowd starts chanting, "You suck." So Finn tells Cody that you're either with the Judgment Day or you're against the Judgment Day. And someday Finn Balor will slap that bleach off Cody's head, which I thought was so hilarious that he said that. And Cody reveals he's medically cleared and challenges to Finn Balor to a match tonight. I honestly didn't mind this opening segment, but Finn Balor interrupting Cody Rhodes just seemed so totally random to me and kind of just came out of nowhere, honestly. Afterwards, we get a 6-man tag match. It's LWO versus the Bloodline. And LWO comes out with a new song that opens with Viva la Raza, and it's a new theme song that plays that's a tribute to the founder, Eddie Guerrero. This was an alright match. It wasn't bad, but the problem is this is another loss for the LWO. Ever since the group came together, they have not been able to get any W's, and Zelina Vega wasn't out there with them. Mind you, probably because Rhea Ripley wasn't out there either. But with LWO, in order to be legit, has to start ranking up W's here. Even when LWO was Legado de Fantasma on their main roster, they really didn't do much besides feud with Hit Row. But that didn't do them any favors. Okay, so then we get a Bianca BelAir backstage segment in which she's talking about that she's ready to face Io Sky because it's revealed to her that Io Sky is her next challenger at Backlash. Then Damage Control interrupts and tell her to stay ready. Io Sky speaks Japanese to Bianca, and Dakota Kai translates to that Io Sky wants to face Bianca. Bayley tells Bianca to find 2 other idiots that want to get beaten up as well, so we're going to get a 6-woman tag match later on in the night. We get a Jey Uso Backstage Segment, and you can see he's talking on the phone to someone, probably Roman, since earlier in the night they did dedicate their victory on their supposed victory on SmackDown to Roman Reigns, and they said they will become 9-time champions. So Jey Uso is talking, and Sami Zayn approaches him. So Sami Zayn said he isn't here for a fight. He heard what Jey said, and that's a little weird that Jey's dedicating a victory to Roman Reigns. And Sami Zayn tells Jey that what's going to happen if the Usos lose. Jey doesn't deserve that. Sami Zayn says that he feels bad. And so then Jey tells him that not to feel bad because they're taking those titles from them. And he made his choice just like Sami Zayn made his choice. So this isn't the first interaction. It seems like Sami Zayn is trying to get Jey to, maybe not just Jey, but get like the Usos to see that Roman's going to betray them if they lose on SmackDown. We get a Trish Stratus video and then a backstage interview. So Trish says that she has a little secret, and that says that Becky isn't doing so good. She's having a hard time being at the top of the women's division. And so Trish took it upon herself to take Becky out of her misery, and that she should be saying, "Thank you, Trish." Afterwards, we get the Street Profits versus Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Obviously, this match was kind of random. This totally came out of the left field. But what is there to talk about in this match? What? Seriously. The Street Profits were victorious. That's all you can say, really. I feel bad for Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. They were supposed to reunite the Hurt Business, and that didn't happen. Yet, commentary kept plugging that, oh, what if the tag team split up? I really hope they don't split up any of the tag teams, though it wouldn't surprise me if they do. They're probably more than likely going to split up Alpha Academy, but I'll talk about that when I get to the Chad Gable match. So after this, you get a Triple H segment, but I talked about that at the beginning, so I'm going to go ahead and skip over it. So then this is followed up by a Damian Priest backstage interview who says that he thinks it's awesome Bad Bunny is there to promote Backlash, but he says that Bad Bunny will go through a table again if he gets involved in their business again. And that he doesn't go to Coachella and steal the mic from Bad Bunny. He's ended by saying, "Viva el día de juicio." We get another Usos backstage segment. And Jimmy calls himself main event Jimmy Uso. He says he's the right-hand man. Jimmy tells Jey to leave Sami Zayn alone. Tells him he can't talk to Sami Zayn. And to stay focused. And on this Friday, they will win for Roman Reigns. So it seems to be like this is, so like I said last time, I think that if the Usos lose here, I don't think something necessarily is going to happen to them. I think that if they lose at SmackDown and then they go on and lose at Backlash, then I think something's going to happen. But right now, I don't think anything's going to happen. Okay, so then afterwards we get a 6-woman tag match. It is Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez versus Damage Control. And again, Damage Control taking more damage than them being in control. Not only do they lose this match, but Bayley's the one that takes the pin. So Damage Control's booking has just been horrible since the group came together. Honestly, whatever momentum they had, they lost it when Bayley failed to beat Bianca. So they might as well just split up the group now. So we get an Austin Theory promo, and he welcomes everybody to Austin Theory Live. He says that this is an experience everybody wants to be a part of, except two people, and that's Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. He says he's the greatest U.S. champion in history and asks where his respect is. He says that title, referring to the new heavyweight title, shouldn't be on the pedestal. Instead, it should be around his waist. He goes on to say that Triple H said that that title needed to be earned. Well, he's earned it. And then Usos chants happen. He starts talking about how he is the guy that pinned John Cena at WrestleMania. And then Bobby Lashley comes out, interrupts him, and calls Austin Theory a kid. Says that Austin Theory is holding his title and asks when is Austin Theory going to step up. And says that Theory is young and tough. Bobby Lashley is revealed to be the one that requested this triple threat match. And then Austin Theory says that if Bobby Lashley was so good at requesting matches, why didn't he request a match at WrestleMania? Which is true. Like, if Bobby Lashley is so good at requesting matches, he should have just requested a match at WrestleMania. And then a brawl breaks out between Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley. And then Bronson Reed shows up and they double team Bobby Lashley. After Austin Theory hits the 8-count down on Lashley, Bronson Reed attacks Austin Theory with the tsunami and then holds up the U.S. title. So I feel like that triple threat match is more just to set up the feud between Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed more than anything. I think by some way, somehow, Austin Theory is walking out with that U.S. title. So we get Chad Gable versus Mustafa Ali. This match came about because earlier in the night, Mustafa Ali had interrupted Chad Gable and Otis, Elias, and Rick Booz, talking about how their tag teams might get split up. And I honestly feel like they're going to use the draft to split up Chad Gable and Otis. I think if you're going to split them up, that's the best way to do it rather than do the usual someone turns heel and attacks their partner. Then you get another backstage segment with Sami Zayn. And this time, Jimmy approaches him saying that Sami Zayn is playing mind games. And Jimmy says that they'll take those titles on Friday and says that Kevin Owens probably remembers all the time Sami betrayed him and tells Sami Zayn that KO will betray him after they lose those titles on Friday. And honestly, to me, that's very predictable. If Kevin Owens turns on Sami Zayn, I feel like if you're going to have someone turn, it should be Sami Zayn. Technically, because Sami Zayn had already turned on KO. But still, Kevin Owens turning on Sami Zayn is too predictable. Then you got Cody Rhodes versus Finn Balor, which was a good match. Real good match. I'm surprised it had a clean finish with Cody Rhodes picking up the win after he hit the crossroads to Finn Balor. I was expecting interference, like maybe Dominic or Rhea to come out, but no, that didn't happen. So very surprised with that. All right, so we get Seth freaking Rollins promo, and he basically welcomes everybody to Monday Night Rollins. He said he calls himself the visionary, the revolutionary, and something bigger has caught his eye, and he looks over to the newly title. He says that Roman Reigns would like you to believe that everybody wants what he has. The truth is some of them still want to fight, and that title is an opportunity to fight. He says that this is more than politics and part-timers, that they're going to crown a new champion at Night of Champions, and there's the mic, and he's basically referring to himself. Then almost an MVP interrupt, and MVP says that he respects Rollins immensely and calls him one of the most impressive superstars to ever grace the WWE ring. He says that Seth Rollins has accomplished everything there is to accomplish, and MVP says he's responsible for getting big victories for Almost. Seth Rollins says that they should thank MVP for the kind words, and that Almost is the tallest man he's ever seen. Rollins says that he's a generation because he made himself that way, and he's going to make Almost famous. An arena full of people will sing his song. So, first of all, I don't think Seth Rollins can... I think maybe Seth Rollins might be able to carry Almost and make him look good, but I don't have high expectations. The best Almost has ever looked was when he was teaming with AJ Styles and they hit all his flaws. But now it's just like, I don't know. It might be a decent match, but if it is, it's because of Seth Rollins, not because of Almost. I mean, MVP's trying his best to sell these matches, but Lashley beat Almost, Lesnar beat Almost. How do you expect to make Almost a threat when he keeps losing? So we get Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens backstage. And Kevin Owens asks Sami Zayn where he's been all night. And Sami Zayn tells Kevin Owens he was talking to Jey and to Jimmy. Kevin Owens says that he puts a emphasis, they have to beat the Usos on Friday. And they have to win on Friday. And Kevin isn't happy with Sami Zayn talking to Jimmy and to Jey. I really hope they don't take those tag titles off Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and give them back to the Usos. Then we'll be back at square one. All the whole bloodline will have titles, and they're going to just have a stranglehold on the tag team division. So we don't need that happening. The right call is for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to retain those tag titles. So Matt Riddle is there, and he brings up RK Bro. He says that everybody would tell him Randy Orton would eventually RKO him, and that didn't happen. So maybe there is hope for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Our main event ends up being Rey Mysterio versus Damian Priest, which wasn't a bad match. But during this match, like throughout the whole entire night, they showed Bad Bunny trying to arrive to the Allstate Arena. And during this match, Bad Bunny actually arrives to the arena. Damian Priest grabs a chair, but he doesn't manage to hit Rey. He ends up throwing that chair to Rey, which forces a DQ. And he hits Rey Mysterio with the South of Heaven. Then afterwards, Bad Bunny comes out with a kendo stick and toad and attacks Damian Priest with it. Bad Bunny reveals to Damian Priest that he's no longer hosting Backlash. He's going to go to Puerto Rico and he's going to kick Damian Priest's ass because he's in his casa, and he challenges Damian Priest to a street fight at Backlash. And honestly, this was not the route that I thought that they were going to go. I thought for sure we were going to get a tag match. I thought it was going to be Rey Mysterio and Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, but that's not happening. We're getting a street fight, which is actually very interesting. I'm actually looking forward to that match. I wouldn't be surprised if it does become maybe a tag team street fight, but I honestly would be surprised if it doesn't, and maybe we'll get some interference in this match. I don't think that this is going to be a one-on-one match completely, honestly. I don't think so. But with that being said, that concludes Monday Night Raw. There was some stuff that was okay. I wasn't happy with LWO taking another loss, and Cody Rhodes versus Finn Balor was good. Rey Mysterio versus Damian Priest is good, but I feel like we've seen that match before. I really didn't care for the women's match. Raw was okay, but they're just killing time till the draft, you could tell. So I'd give it a 5 out of 10. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or I release a new video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.